Hi, everybody. This is Kathy Tuttle with Chair Yoga, and I had a random thought as I was setting everything up, and I'm having tea, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I was thinking about, oh, gee, I kind of feel like I'm Mr. Roberts, not, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood here sometimes when I'm talking, but I got to look at myself over the past few recordings, and I thought, no. I'm more like Mrs. Doubtfire, seriously, and it's just the way it is. So that's kind of cool. It made me laugh. Well, back to basics here. I am having a cup of tea because I am coming off of a cold, a true garden variety cold that I got as soon as I got back from my trip. So somewhere along the line, that happened, and I'm doing fine, but a little bit, in the sinuses, things going back and forth. So anyway, you're going to see me sipping my tea. And I was thinking about all of these things that we do. And, I tell you that yoga is a lot more than just striking a pose or doing these kinds of things. It's a lot about balance. And so I wanted to share something that I've got before, but it's repeating. I knew I needed to pull myself together to be able to be the best I could be today. So I went back to my toolbox and I pulled out what I've told you about before, Abhyanga. It's spelled A-B-H-A-N, wait, did I spell that right? A-B-H-Y-A-N-G-A. And for this, I add a little more than just what they call self-oiling. I also add a salt bath. And here's my 8-pound bag of Epsom salts. And I put like a half a cup or a cup into a hot bath and soak in it. It does a couple things. Number one, it makes you feel good. It pulls out the cold or whatever's going on, but also it prepares your body to be ready to really take in the oil that you're going to do next. And you've heard me talk about this. Before I do that, I do a scrub with a little brush, get off the dead skin cells. Then I've treated myself to refined sesame oil from Banyan Botanical. Now, you don't have to use that. You can use any kind of good quality sesame oil, but I've been using good quality organic cooking oil, and it really felt heavy. This is the first time I've used this. It's really light. You could also get cold pressed sesame oil. Spectrum is a brand that's very common in the grocery store. You can get that. Now I take it and I make it as easy as I can. So I'm giving you all of my little tips. I got this little squeeze bottle with the top that you can flip up and down at Target. And I put my oil in there so that it's easy for me to just put some in my hand. Now, I don't always go full blown on this like I did today. A lot of times I'll just put it on after I'm done showering and then rinse it off. So, and I'm getting things off my table here. So there's all kind of ways to do it. And then to protect the skin, sun hat and sun shirt. So that's the commercial for today. And we're talking about adaption. I'm going to show you an adaption that we're going to incorporate today when I do the regular warm-up. Some of you are going to see, okay, she's going into this where I put the hand to the side and then I touch over and go like that. It's come to my attention from a dear friend that this could be an issue with the lower back. As we get older, some of us have osteoporosis or back issues. I'm going to suggest an adaption. And I changed my chair position here so I can show you. First of all of us are different and we have to pay attention to what feels good. Nothing should ever be uncomfortable to the point of pain or real discomfort. Therefore, since I can't see you, I need your help. Here's an adaptation for what I just showed you. You can stand up, nice and tall, have your prop right here, and instead of sitting, you soften your knees a little bit, stay nice and tall and long, and then tip over. And if you want to, you can do it this way. Okay, you can have your support right here, come back, and then when you do the other side, just do it like that. So balance yourself, focus on the spine, and that might be a more comfortable position for some of us. But the important part that we're looking at is opening up the rib cage and having the spine move back and forth just a little bit. So think about that as we move forward. So today, as we go through our practice, let's think about adaptation. Let's think about, I'm sorry, I'm getting some feedback. Okay, we'll think about adaptation. Let's come to chair mountain. Sit up nice and tall, and then let yourself sit back in the chair and find a comfortable, supported position. And find your easy breath. Take a moment and do kind of a scan of your body or your emotions or just anything that's going on that you have coming up, and think about, oh, this is what's going on. I'm thinking about it. Or this is a little bit of a twinge, or I don't feel so great here. Just notice it and then set it aside, but be gentle with yourself later. Nice, easy breath. If you would like to do diaphragmatic breath, you can always go to that easily with one hand on the chest to make sure you don't overfill there. And then the other hand on your belly to soften and fill there. Before we get started, let's go back to something we did early in May, when our last in-person session. Brandon, something's going on with the sound, but I'm going to ignore it from here on in. We're going to do 3-part breath. First, take one large breath through your entire rib cage and chest and belly. And then let it settle. The next breath that we do consciously, let's bring it all into the upper chest here. We've got a lot of lung lobes here. Let's bring it in, fill it up, and let it go. The second breath into the middle of the chest. It's hard to control, and I'm still doing a little on the top too. Then the third part into the belly. That might be easier because we've been practicing that. Let's do it again. Upper chest, middle, belly. Okay, The reason I like this is because it helps us to get a little more access to understanding where our breath is going. And in your back, you've also got all those lobes for the lungs, and you can fill them also. It's a little less easy to see or to feel what's going on because we're not really used to that. But you're filling up those lobes also. And little by little, you can increase your lung capacity to be a little fuller. So let's get started with just warming up. And we're still seated in the back of the chair, but now sitting forward just a little bit. Feet comfortably on the floor. Elongate the spine. That feels good. Let's elongate before we rotate. Nice long spine, as if the crown of your head is being pulled up to the ceiling. And then exhale, nice long spine. This helps the space between the vertebrae be a little bit more. It might not be much, but it might be a little. So elongate. Then we're going to have the spine move side to side. Remember what I said when we get to this point, if it's been bothering you, then you could stand and have the support on the side and just do it that way. Give it a try if that's what you'd like. Counting on you to adapt. I'm going to scoot over a tiny bit, hold the side of my chair so that my elbow can be a hinge. Inhale, and remember, do your own arms up whenever you want. You can do it this way, leave it down, or bring it all the way up. Cactus arms, whatever you want. Exhale. Stand up. Elongate one side, just that left side. I'm mirroring you. Exhale down. This time we're going to tip. Inhale up, and then tip like the teapot. Exhale down. Let's go to the other side. I'm mixing it up a little bit. I'm elongating one side, and then I'm opening up the side body. So remember, do your own arms up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Elongate that right side. Exhale down. Inhale up and stay there. On the exhale, you got your left elbow ready to hinge. Exhale. Take an inhale and tip to the side. And if you're standing, you're doing the same exact thing. Exhale, come on back. Now, I'm taking it a little easy today just because I have not been moving around too much. So I want to take it easy today. And that's a good tip for anybody. When you find yourself adapting and having to pull back a little bit for whatever reason, then it's good to start slow and you'll always go. All right. So we've gone elongation, we've gone side to side. Remember, the spine moves 4 ways. So what we're going to do next is prepare for that by doing the turtle. And I turn sideways in case someone's new, but you know what it is and you can stay face forward anytime. So here we go. The turtle is going to move this back joint at the bottom of the neck. And we're going to move the face forward and move it back. Nothing else is moving. The shoulders are quiet. The back is quiet below the neck. But we're moving the head, face forward, as if it's going to the wall and coming back. Let's do 2 more. Okay, now that we've warmed that up and we've elongated and we've gone side to side, we're going to do a mini back bend. And then after that, we'll do a flat back forward fold. And we've been through this. This is preparing for cat-cow. So when we do the mini back bend, it's really mini. you're going to get there with opening the chest by pulling the shoulders open when you inhale. And if you'd like, you can put your hands on the sides and just support yourself and make sure you stay elongated. Now, if this bothers you seated, try standing. See how that feels. Inhale, open the chest, nice neck position like a turtle. Pull the arms, shoulders way back. Exhale, come on back to neutral. One more, inhale. Exhale. I'm going to try it standing. Inhale. Exhale. That works. Okay, now we're going to do the flat back forward fold. I'm going to do the first two, and then the third one I'll practice standing. I want to encourage people to find their best cat-cow. So this is how we're going to do it. So we're going to do a nice basic inhale, not a mini forward fold. And then on the exhales, I slide my hands forward and I come to a flat back. My chin stays neutral. I'm not arching the neck. Come on back, inhale. I'm keeping my neutral neck. The chin almost tucked, but not down. Okay, again, exhale forward. Come on back, neutral. I'm going to try it standing on the third one. Okay, my knees are a little bit micro bent. So a nice basic inhale, no movement. Exhale, hinging at the hips, flat back forward fold. All right, so you get the idea. We're going to do cat-cow, and you can do like as many of these as you like, but I'm going to do three. The first two seated, and then the last one, the third one, I'm going to do standing because I'm working on how can we adapt? Here we go. So remember, we're doing the mini back bend and then the flat back forward fold. If you want to do a full forward fold and your spine is good, then go for it. Here we go. Inhale, mini back bend, nice neutral chin. Exhale, flat back forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to stand. Inhale. Exhale. All right, so I'm going to do another one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. What I'm noticing is I'm paying close attention to my lower back and then the flat back forward fold. That is a standing cat-cow. And there's no reason not to change up your routine to make it work for you. All right, yay, spine moves 4 ways, and we've just done them. So I'm moving to the middle of the chair now. And again, I'm going to be gentle because that's what I need today. But if you want to do something else that you know how to do as we go through the joints, then just do what's best for you. Today, I'm going to trace the collarbone with my chin. And I want it to be a nice smooth movement. So I'm going to drop my chin as if I'm going to be touching the collarbone. Of course, I'm not. And then I just want to make a rhythmic movement without stopping. I'm not worrying about breath. I'm not hurrying, and I'm not doing it so slow that it's annoying. Just movement. I've done 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's good enough. Now, look to your left. In the center. Look to your right. Center. Left. Center. And notice a smooth movement, not halting or stopping, really just going back and forth, letting that joint warm up in another direction. Okay, now we're going to pretend to touch our ear to our shoulders. we're not going to do it. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't want to, by mistake, start bringing my shoulders up. I want to keep them low. So you can do that a couple ways. You can just consciously do it, or you could place your hands on opposite shoulders, or you might touch your fingers to the shoulders. Some people, this isn't comfortable. So you can find another way. It's pretty comfortable for me, but it's not for some people. So let's take a nice inhale, exhale, tip to your left, center, tip to your right, go to center, tip to your left, center, right, center. And as before, we're not really halting anywhere. We're just keeping it going nice and rhythmic. If something is tight, just pay attention to it and baby it a little bit, and it'll loosen up over time, very likely. Now we head towards the shoulders, and there's a lot of adaptations that we can do for that. If you have rotocuff issues, if you've had surgery, if you've injured yourself, you want to pay attention and not overdo. Just like we can do different arms up, we can move the shoulders differently. So let's just start with basic shoulder roll opposites, if that feels good to you, and then go the other direction. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. You can put your arms like this, or tip your fingers onto your shoulders. And we're going to just roll them like around one direction a few times, and then go the other direction a few times. Now, I'm going to add some weights to mine because I'm going to be working on building my arm muscles over the next few months. I'll let you know how it goes. So I'm adding hand weights, and I'm going to just start small and then get bigger. Other direction, big, and then small. Now, if you want, in your own personal practice time, you can always add some things, do whatever you want. This is a good time to do it, but don't overdo it. Do it slowly, and little by little, things will improve. So now we're going to loosen up the wrists. And some of you have seen me do this sideways. You see nothing else is moving except my lower arms. I'm going to turn sideways. So if you've not seen this before, you can see it. Now I go the other direction. See? Only the wrists and the lower arms. Then one of my favorite things is my tennis balls. If you don't have tennis balls, do claw hands. And then roll the wrists with the claw hands or tennis balls. Okay, shake it out. So we've gotten pretty good here. We've gotten the shoulders, the arms, the neck. Let's do our first little mini twist. And I'm going to take a sip of tea. Okay. So we're doing a mini twist here, just warming up that lower back. If you have osteoporosis, if you have trouble with the exercise we had in the beginning with the side to side, this might be as far as you want to go. Don't overdo it. I'm barely twisting. But if you are going to do a little more of a twist, we can do it in a very controlled way. You can place your hand behind you on the chair, roll your shoulders back and down. Okay. Point at me, take an inhale. And then on the exhale, twist from the hips, well, actually the waist, the shoulders, and then the head. And I'm barely twisting. Take an inhale, come on back with the head, the shoulders, the waist. I'm barely twisting, but it's the whole spine now instead of just the very bottom. We're going to do the other side. I'm going to take the left hand, place it on the chair, point, Take an inhale, roll the shoulders back as you're doing that. On the exhale, twist starting at the waist, the shoulders, the head. Not a lot. I'm not doing as far as I could. Come on back on the inhale with the head, the shoulders, and waist. This isn't about, can you push yourself to your maximum? No, it's about warming things up and going forward without any kind of twinges. I could have turned my head more. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm not trying to overdo. Okay, so now we've got all the way down here. Let's warm up the hip joints and the legs a little bit before we get into a little more. And this is one of my favorites. And y'all know this. I'm gonna stand nice and tall, soften the knees a teeny weeny bit. Now I'm gonna turn sideways so you see it for this round. All right, I'm standing on, well, stand on your left side. Excuse me, I'm wrong. Your right side. That'll pull up. If you elongate that right side, it'll pull up the left foot so you can move it. So do that, and then swing the leg. We want to focus the swing on the hip joint more than any height or anything else. Doesn't matter. No one can see you. They're all can see me. But we're going to do this, just moving the hip joint, okay? Gently. And you can do it as many times as you want, but we're not going to do too many here on the session. Then you bend the knee and rotate the hip joint gently with mini circles. I'll turn forward for that. Mini circles, not too much. I'm not going all the way out. I'm just wanting to work it and go the other direction. I'm just wanting to roll it in the socket, okay? Then we're gonna rock the knee. We're not twisting it at all. We're just rocking the joint. All right, now we're gonna do the other side. And since I have my prop over here, I'll use that. We elongate your left side, and that pulls up the right hip so you can release. Remember to soften your right knee, your left knee a little bit. And just rock that joint. Nice and gentle. The goal is the hip joint, nothing else. Then bend the knee. Mini circles, mini circles. And then the other direction. Okay, then we rock it back and forth. Okay, so we're warmed up here. Now we're gonna finish up in the middle of our chair. We're gonna have our feet out a little bit more than usual. So here's straight up and down. I'm gonna step forward one little bit. I'm gonna hold on to my chair. We're gonna point the toes, press the heels. Point the toes, press the heels. You're gonna feel that a little bit in your calves. That feels kind of nice. You're also working the ankles. Now we'll walk back and forth with the heel toe. And it looks like this: toe, heel, toe. So let's do toe, heel, toe, toe, heel, toe, heel. There's no rhyme or reason to the format. It's just a matter of making your ankles move in a way that they normally might not, if it's comfortable. And if it's not, adaptation is the name of the game. So let's step back now. And we're going to raise the left foot and rotate. Now, notice how slow I'm going. I'm not trying to win any races here. I'm looking at, now go the other direction, building synovial fluid in our joints is what my goal is. Then we go back, lift up your right, start that one. How does that feel? Little by little, sometimes the joints get more flexible as time goes on. So don't lose heart, no point. Just keep going and showing up. All right. Now we get to chair pigeon. I'm still in the middle of the chair. If you have any issues with your hip joints, knee surgery, or ankles, I encourage you to always think about how level 1 feels. There will be days when you're great and you feel like you want to go to level 2 or level 3 of what we're going to do. It doesn't have to be every day. All right, so what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to try and lessen the stress on the joint a little bit by moving the right foot to center line. So I'm going to lift it up and put it in the center. All right. Then I'm going to hold on a little bit here, lift up the left foot, cross the left ankle over the right ankle. That is level 1. Take your left hand, place it on the left knee. That will naturally open the hip joint a little bit. For many of us, this is where we belong for today and maybe tomorrow, because you can improve the hip joint, but not if you push too much. Level 2, nice long spine. Let's bring up that left ankle to the right knee. Then take the left hand, place it on that left knee. That automatically is going to open up a little more. In the wintertime, I find this more difficult when the weather gets chilly or changeable. And in the summertime, it gets easier. Everything seems easier and it's warmer. All right, we're going to do level 3. And remember to do your own arms up. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, and you bring that left elbow down to rest gently on that left knee. You can do whatever level of forward fold you want. Take an inhale and stay there. On the exhale, see if you can release the hip a tiny bit more and relax into it. Release any pressure, any holding. Then inhale up and bring it all down. Now, it is possible that you will find, oh, that's great on this left side. But then when you try and do it on the right, it's a no-go. Listen to your body. All right, we're going to take the left foot and we're going to put it in the midline this time. So here we go. Lifting the left foot, putting in there in the midline. We like to keep at least one foot on the floor to support the spine. Then we take the right foot, lift it up, cross it over. Take the right hand, place it on the right knee. That's naturally going to open it. I'm sitting in the middle of the chair, which gives me a little more movement here for what I want to do with my hip joints. Then we're going to take a nice inhale and bring up on the exhale, bring up that right ankle to the left knee. If that feels good, great. If it doesn't, back it on down. Take your right hand, place it on the right knee. That naturally is going to open it just a little tiny bit. Here we go with level 3. Inhale up. Exhale down, placing the right elbow on the right knee. Not pushing, it'll naturally push a little bit. Your forward fold is one you like. Take an inhale and an exhale. Try and release any pressure and tension that you have that you're holding on this. Notice it. Come on back up and exhale. Yay! All right, we're going to do a little bit of some movement, nothing heavy duty today. Let me look at my notes, see what I was thinking about. I'm not going to do block work today. And I am thinking about the solar plexus, though, as we head into summer, because this is like the powerhouse for digestion of so many different things. But I'm going to work on maybe introducing that next time. So if you want to stand up, you can stand up. If you want to sit down, you can do this seated. Let's start with continuing the twist. Remember to do it as gently as you want to. And when you twist, if you're standing, you want to release the opposite heel. Can you see that? My heel's releasing there. Okay. And then I'm kind of just swinging my arms, la la, like a little kid. Just relaxing and warming up, soft knees, not hyperextending. I'm gonna go up a little higher, and I've got some room here. I'm not hitting anything, yay. I'm gonna punch a little bit. And I'm not even snapping it. I don't know if any of you see that, but a lot of times I snap my punch, but I don't feel like doing that today. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm punching, but it's like a gentle pat punch. Okay, and then up. And then come on down again. Okay, so we got some movement going on here. So that's a good thing. I'm just kind of rocking back and forth here. I'm gonna keep it easy today, but I do want to call attention to, and I'm continuing to move, you see that? I wanna call attention to the core. So if you have worked with me before with tightening the inner thighs, pulling up on the perineum and pulling in on the belly button as if you're going to touch the spine, doing that's an abdominal squeeze, then feel free to do that when we do our goddess pose. So we're in position for goddess pose. If you're seated, maybe get yourself a little more stable and you're coming to almost the end of the chair, not so far that you fall off. That would be bad. You're standing, go a little wider than we were. Not too much, but just a little, and soften the knees. Okay, we're going to elongate the spine, just like we did in the very beginning. And we're going to do our goddess pose. And when we do the goddess pose, we want to make sure our spine is as straight as is comfortable. Everything's elongated from the tailbone to the top of the head. We want to roll the shoulders back, and we want to make sure that we're really stable in our feet pressing into the floor. And some of that is accomplished by making sure you tuck your buttocks a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit, just to stabilize you. So feel how you are right now. Do you feel stable? Do you feel like you can put some pressure into your calves and your thighs and press with your feet? And if you're tipping forward, notice it and tip back. You want to be stable with your skeleton holding you upright, okay? And tipping forward is going to push you forward. So you might want to roll the buttocks together a little bit. All right, here we go. I'm rolling the buttocks together. I'm elongating the spine, rolling the shoulders back, softening the knees so I don't hyperextend. And we're going to inhale up and then come down into goddess. And then the next inhale up and then relax. So here we go. Inhale up. Exhale to goddess, opening up the chest nice and wide. Press the feet, inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Come on into goddess, opening everything up. Pressing the feet. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're going to do 1 more like that. Inhale up. Exhale down. Stay there. Notice if you are tipping forward, adjust your spine, elongate it, crown of the head pulling up. Press the feet to the floor, opening up the legs and the knees and activating the muscles. Come on up, inhale up, exhale down. Okay. That's the goddess pose. If you wanted to do it activating the core, you can add that in and you can stay there gently breathing while you hold it, and that will little by little, increase your muscles. I'm going to sit back down. Okay, so we've talked about adaptation, and sometimes things will be more difficult than others. Before we do as if exercise, which involves the chair and sitting up and down, I want to talk to you about chair pose, because when you're feeling pretty spry, that's always a good time to start something that is a little bit new. So I'm going to turn sideways and we're going to talk about chair pose, which uses the same muscles as the as if pose. Okay. So when you do chair pose, you're holding at a certain point as if you're going to sit in a chair, but you're not. So my feet are a little bit closer together. They're about like that. Okay. I'm going to turn sideways now. And nice long spine, soften the knees. This is what is called standing mountain pose. Okay. And it's actually a resting pose. And we're going to come to chair pose from this. And it can be your own personal chair pose. It may be changed because you're seated. It may be changed because you can't move something as comfortably as you want. So I want you to think about what we're activating is the strength in the lower back, the strength in the thighs. So I'm going to soften my knees. And that is the beginning. I don't know if you can even, you see, I'm just softening them and bringing them down. I'm not doing a darn thing except that. I'm breaking this up into pieces. So here I am. Let's do this a few times. And I feel it a lot in my calves. But I'm in standing mountain pose, so it's very strong. And bear with me if you're seated. I really want to try and break this down a little bit. All right, so I'm going to stay here now. And I'm going to hinge at the hips just a little. Flat back, forward fold, right there, you see? Then, if you want to go to full chair pose, you can bring your arms up. And you're pressing into the ground. You're holding the hinge on the hips. You're activating the muscles possibly in the core. And your chin is in turtle position like we did with neutral spine. Then we come on back up. When we do as if, we're going into that also, but we're doing it in a movement way. And it's guided by the purpose of being able to get up and down out of the chair. Remember what I said when we do as if, we like to put the chair right there where it's touching the calves. So when we're going up and down, we're not thinking about, are we touching the chair? Are we going to fall on the floor? We don't want to fall on the floor. We want to build our muscles. So let's do as if now. But now you have a little bit of an idea of how it connects with chair pose. If you're doing it seated, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to activate as if you're going to stand up and then come on back down. As if, and come on back down. Nice long spine, press the feet in the floor, activate the buttocks and the thighs, and come on back down. Same thing. Here we go. I'm touching the top of the calves to the chair. We inhale up. Exhale down nice and slow if you can. Remember the chair pose where the back was at a little bit of an angle, that we don't want it straight up and down. We want to give ourselves some help but not flop into the chair. Inhale up. We're going to do several more. Exhale down. Hinge at those hips and come on down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Press the feet in the floor. Activate the thighs. You got all the muscles going on here. Keep going if you would like. Stop when you want. Some more. One more. Notice you're tipping your back forward as you hinge your hips. Okay. So our as if pose ties in with chair pose. And if you wanted to do chair pose moving instead, you could do it like this, standing nice and tall. You could go, you see? Now, my chair pose isn't perfect. And if you've done yoga before, you're going to say, oh, she's not doing it this way or that way. I'm moving, I'm grooving. It's all good. Okay, so it's the same thing, but this way you're protected and you're getting a little more strengthening on the parts that help us get up and down out of our chair. All right. Now, what I'd like to do is finish up with a little bit of just breathing. So, good cup of tea in my favorite cup. It's all good. Scoot to the back of your chair. And let's think about breath. A lot of times we think about all the things that we want to do. We think about the things that sometimes we can't do or we don't do anymore. But if you turn that around, there's a lot of things we can do, and we can do them in a way that can get a little bit better, and that's how you show up. One of the things is walking. Even if it's walking around the house. Maybe you have an island and you say, all right, I'm going to do 10 loops on the island. Maybe you've had a little problem with an ankle or a knee or anything and you need to get moving. Set yourself a little goal. Another thing might be just arm strength, which is something I'm working on. And I've been doing counter push-ups. And I'm going to show you what that means because I think it's brilliant of the person who showed me how to do them. Pretend this is the kitchen counter. And what I'm doing, I'm supporting myself and then I'm going forward and back. You can see my chair is moving a little bit, but you get the idea. If you go down and then back, you're using your body weight, but you're working on that. So counter push-ups is something I've been doing. Okay. Breath, we did 3-part breath. Let's just feel our breath. Sit nice and comfortably, way to the back. And when you sit somewhere, and especially now that we can sit outside a little bit, you have a nice, even breath, you have a long spine. If you're sitting in your spot that you like, maybe on a swing or near a tree you like, there's energy there. You can bring that in, maybe in your garden, and you can let it out. You can bring in that energy and then let it out. Send it to places in your body and then let go of the things you don't want. And we've done that here a lot. You can do it on your own. And you can build your energy level and your breath capacity with these awarenesses. So let's find our easy breath. Let the chair support you. And if you'd like to close your eyes or gaze down at your knees, with a nice neutral chin and spine, you can close your eyes if you like. And just focus on the breath. Notice the crown of the head. Middle of the forehead. Soften the jaw. Notice the hollow of the throat. The shoulder joints. Upper arms. Elbows. Lower arms. Wrists and the tops and bottoms of the hands. Back up to the wrists. The forearms. Elbows. Upper arms. Shoulder joints. Notice the heart center and the upper rib cage in the back. The navel center in the middle of the back. The sacrum in the lower back. Hip joints, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, tops and bottoms of the feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, hip joints, sacrum, navel center, heart center, hollow of the throat, center of the forehead, crown of the head. Imagine when you're breathing in, that you're breathing in energy and light and nourishment through the crown of the head and sending it through all of your body. And then as you exhale through the fingers and toes, you send out stress and toxins. If you have a challenge in your life or in the life of someone around you and you want to send the energy to that, you can take an inhale through the crown of your head, bring in all that energy, send it to wherever you'd like, use it, then exhale out through the fingers and toes. May I be well, healthy, and strong. May I be happy. May I abide in peace. May I feel safe and secure. May I feel loved and cared for. If you'd like to bring your hands to heart position and bow to thank yourself for making time today for yourself. And thank you for joining me for chair yoga. Now, if you'd like to stay for a few minutes after the recording stops,